Young adulthood is often associated with vulnerability and risk-taking inclination, which might manifest in substance use and abuse. Substance abuse is one of several important social and health challenges that educators and teachers are called to face. In fact, 1 in 6 people, 17%, reported having used an illicit drug at least once in their life. In considering health and social responses to drug problems, the focus is on those actions or interventions that address drug use and associated health and social harms. The process of responding to drug problems can be divided into 3 broad stages. 1. The identification of the particular drug problems to be addressed. 2. The selection of the responses or interventions that are to be put in place. 3. The implementation of these interventions with monitoring and impact evaluation, forming an integral part of this phase. It is important to analyze the situation to gain a better understanding of the extent and nature of the problems. This understanding may come from a variety of resources such as the available data on the problem, national statistics, local research, and needs assessment, and consulting with stakeholders including people who use drugs and their closest contacts. At this point, the decision process is guided by considerations such as the types of interventions that are likely to be effective, the target group involved, and the setting in which the measures will be carried out. Depending on the circumstances, this might involve selecting from a range of intervention options and adapting interventions that have been shown to work elsewhere. Let's look together at this table. According to the social environment or the category we are considering, the risk factors that an individual can encounter are different as well as the preventive factors. As you can see, for every social environment there are some risk factors. Hence, factors that might elicit, promote, and cause substance abuse and preventive factors that contrary discourage its occurrence. For instance, if a community is not well structured, there are norms favorable to drug use and individuals know that it is easy to procure them. It is likely that a good part of the community members will be attracted to it. Considering the school setting, among the risk factors there are academic failures and poor commitment. On the other hand, the time a person spent in school activities and the time reserved for social bonding will work as preventive factors. It's important to understand that risk factors do not, in and of themselves, determine drug use and abuse, but it is more related to cumulative factors. Lastly, concerning the response strategies, there are 2 other examples worth mentioning. The first one targets the cultural, social, physical, and economical environments in which people make choices about drug use. They could attempt at promoting a positive and supportive environment in schools, for example. Another example is to play in alcohol and tobacco pricing and advertising. Selective prevention targets particularly vulnerable groups who are more likely to develop drug use or dependence, such as those with fewer social ties and resources. Finally, the last stage of the cycle entails the implementation of the strategy. Often, there is evidence that an intervention works in a particular case, but in practice, the success of the intervention often highly depends on the local context and how the intervention is implemented. Among the factors that can influence the success of a strategy, there are 1. It's important to persuade the public and policymakers to agree on the reality of the problem, the appropriateness of the selected intervention, and its cost benefits. 2. Having competent and skilled staff to deliver the intervention is crucial to the success of its implementation. 3. An important factor affecting implementation could be the availability and appropriateness of the facilities where the intervention is to take place. 4. The response, support, and engagement that a community shows to the cause might have a positive impact in disseminating the initiative and involvement of the target group. Thank you for listening.